You see how, I was holding him, see how his arm, we had a close relationship. He was me and my wife's first child.
Those words from Aubrey Wright, Dante Wright's father, spoken during court testimony this week. Wright was fatally shot by former officer Kim Potter during a traffic stop in April. Potter is on trial for 2 manslaughter charges. The state has rested its case against Potter. On Wednesday, jurors heard a contentious cross-examination with a witness put forth by prosecutors.
Would it raise your concern when you went back up to the car to arrest Mr. Wright that he had a weapons warrant outstanding, a bench warrant? He didn't show up, a judge ordered it. Would that raise your concerns about a weapon being in the car?
There is always...
That calls for a yes or no, by the way. Yes, it would raise my concerns, or no, it wouldn't.
I can't fairly answer the question with a yes or no.
Okay.
The witness, a University of South Carolina law professor, opined that officers could have let Wright drive off rather than taser him in the driver's seat because he was, quote, unlikely to avoid future apprehension since his identity was known. An expert provided by the defense on Thursday disagreed with that, calling it a, quote, dereliction of duty not to carry out a bench warrant ordered by a judge. You'll recall Dante Wright was wanted for illegal gun possession. The defense's expert, a retired assistant police chief from Missouri, also provided testimony on whether the use of deadly force would have been justified, let alone a taser.
An officer half in and half out of a vehicle that is about to be put into drive with the door open would certainly meet that standard of being in immediate danger of death or serious physical injury.
So an officer seeing that could shoot?
It would meet that standard, and an officer could shoot, yes, sir.
During cross-examination, prosecutors pointed out that answer was only a hypothetical, as the witness believed the officer on the passenger side was trying to stop Wright was probably more out than in. The Brooklyn Park Salvation Army opened a food pantry this summer, but as Sonia Goins found out, the food shelf is strained by skyrocketing demand.
Volunteers were busy stocking the shelves early Thursday morning.
It's just a never-ending cycle of need.
The Brooklyn Park Salvation Army Pantry has been helping families to stretch their food budgets during the pandemic. This summer, they converted office space into a food shelf.
It's just continued to expand. There's a never-ending need of people that need food.
Salvation Army officials say the demand for the pantry has increased over the past few months.
We've gone from 15 families a week to almost 300 a week. So the need is definitely there, and people are using it more frequently.
But the Salvation Army is making what could be an uncomfortable situation as easy as possible.
There's definitely needs in Brooklyn Park, but I think there is a stigma and maybe just families feeling embarrassed to seek out the help.
People can shop for their food on their own, or they can do curbside pickup. The organization also offers pre-packaged bags.
We're seeing people now coming through the Salvation Army that maybe before would have never walked in our doors.
The global supply chain shortage is impacting the food shelf. There's some items that they can't get, and they're paying more for food.
We're hoping it's temporary, but prices are increasing by about 8%.
The pantry also has ethnic foods. There are a variety of African items on the shelves.
Once word got around, we were fully booked for people that enjoy fufu, gari.
The Salvation Army says although the demand is high, they hope to continue serving the community.
I don't know where they would be if we were not here.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Governor Tim Walz made a stop in Robbinsdale on a warm and rainy Wednesday to highlight the city's water treatment plant.
And we're highlighting the projects that got funded, and then we're going to communities that are looking for similar projects that need to be on the list to be funded next.
The governor walked through the construction site for the centralized water treatment plant, which will provide more efficient water production and softer water for the city of Robbinsdale and North Memorial Health Hospital.
This project is so important, and there's so many others like it around the state of Minnesota. You know, small cities like Robbinsdale aren't always able to afford large projects like this on their own.
Know that the Robbinsdale water buyers, they're the ones that are eventually going to pay for this project. So it's win-win-win, and we get $35 to $40 million at 1% interest because the state of Minnesota is helping us out.
The project is expected to be finished late next year. Just a short time after Golden Valley gave the green light for homes to be built on an unused portion of Golden Valley Country Club land, there's another plan in the works, this time for a senior apartment complex. The plan would turn part of the club's driving range into a 6-story senior living cooperative with 97 units. It would be called Artesa Senior Cooperative, and it would meet the need for senior housing that's affordable in the city. There was a public hearing at the Planning Commission meeting this week.
And if we want Golden Valley Country Club to survive, this unused land sale would allow us to make improvements that make us competitive. And if we, as stewards of the club, don't pay attention to that, our longevity is in question.
At the very least, I would say that the monstrosity aspect of 6 stories is too much. If anything like this has to happen, I would urge the council to scale down considerably.
Several neighbors spoke at length in public comment about the traffic, access to the property, loss of mature trees, and the height of the building. The Planning Commission did recommend denial of changing land use to high-density residential. Santa Claus is coming to town this Saturday, or actually, he's coming to 3 towns.
On Saturday, December 18th, from 4:30 to 7 p.m., there's going to be a Santa parade. It's going to weave through all 3 cities, which include New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale.
Bring some joy into the town and just to spread the Christmas spirit still and keep that alive.
The TriCity Santa Parade will be on Saturday starting at 4:30, and you can check out your city's webpage and Facebook page to see the route and the times.